What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at two Hasbro Marvel Legends Spider-Man characters that were both Walmart exclusives from Walmart Con. So first up, we have the 77 Spider-Man. So from the 77 movie, the Nicholas Hammond version looks pretty cool. Of course, it's just funny, old like TV show and movie that they did back in the 70s. So very like cheap design and stuff, but looks pretty cool with this. Of course, it reminds me a lot of like the Japanese Spider-Man and everything. Comes with a string and stuff, which is pretty different for a Spider-Man figure to come with. So still pretty cool overall to have that. I can spin around and see there like kind of like the poster from the movie recreated with the Spider-Man figure. And then from the Spider-Man PS4 part of the Gamerverse line, we have Spirit Spider. So again, just an alternate costume you can get for your Spider-Man character in the game. But at least from the comics, has a cool story related to an alternate universe Peter Parker and everything being pretty much combined with a Ghost Rider there. So pretty cool for that as well. And just to show you the back, see what it looks like. Nice blue color and flames and designs for it and stuff there from the game. So it looks cool for that as well. So I'm excited to check both these out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with our Spider-Man 77, which was a made-for-TV movie released in 1977 by Columbia Pictures that aired on CBS and served as a pilot for the 1977 The Amazing Spider-Man TV series starring Nicholas Hammond as Peter Parker. So that's what we get here. So we get this nice figure. Of course, it's like figure-wise not like the best, especially for Spider-Man, but it does go with more of, like old school, like guy in a costume sort of design. So it's very like basic with its movements and stuff. Doesn't have a whole lot of range and just some additional things they've done with it, but still looks cool. So we get the Spider-Man costume. So it's like that more classic design with the blue and the red. So the red with all the webbing, and then blue on the like interior on this, so on those sides and down the arms and the leg section and stuff. But looks cool. So we get the weirder mask design. So we get the rounded white eyes with the black, almost what's always like the classic eyelash sort of designs coming off to the side there, but just like a much like rounder face design. Nice simple spider there on his chest. So the simple black spider design and simple red one there on the back. Of course, like I said, all the webbing there in the red design with the blue in the interiors. Then we get a belt around his waist, which usually holds his like web cartridges and stuff. So we get a nice like Spider-Man face design or whatever, web design, whatever's going on there for like the belt buckle, and then all the little cartridge pieces going around. And then he has his web shooter bracelets there on his arm, or at least on the one arm there. So we get that design, which is cool. And then, like I said, it makes him more like a human, because usually with like our Peter Parkers always get like thin legs and ankles and stuff, where this has fatter ankles. So it's a guy with like boots on and stuff. So makes it look much like dorkier and stuff, but also fits for that 70s design that the TV show had. Now for movements, the head will twist all the way around, can look down that far and up that far, so pretty decent, has a hinge in there so you get good range. Shoulders will come up to 90 and rotate all the way around, so no butterflies in there. Get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint, that'll bend up that far, which isn't bad, almost all the way up on itself. Wrist will twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, which is kind of weird crunch. He doesn't really crunch like much back and forth, just a little there. And of course he like either leans back, or if like you get it forward, he then leans forward. So it's kind of like a weird, you can't get the in-between sort of section there. He also has a twist all the way around at the waist, so just below the belt in this instance. Hips will come up to 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist around the double knee joint, which is a pinless knee joint, so pretty stiff there, but can bend up pretty much, kicking himself in the butt, which is nice. No shin twist or anything, but the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So not horrible for the movements, like I said, especially compared to other Spider-Mans, especially more recent Spider-Man. Doesn't have that good a range, but like I said, for being a guy in a costume, from a cheesy TV show, low budget TV show, I would say, it kind of fits perfect along with that. Now for accessories, we do get some additional hands, so just like more relaxed hands if you don't want the fist hands, so just some relaxed hands there. Then we get some webbing, I guess you could say, but probably like they used in the TV show. We get some string, so we get string probably just tied around his hands for swinging him around and stuff. So we just get a nice all white string that we can do whatever there, trying to reenact the webbing. And then we also get the web splats that we got more recently, so just all in white there. So again, I never know what to do with these. No, they don't really do anything unless you just stick them on somebody or something. But yeah, we just get those web splats as well to go along with him. So overall, like I said, just for like the history of being from the TV show and everything, it's nice to add another and different version of Spider-Man added to our collection. But like I said, figure wise, definitely not the best figure. And then we also have Spirit Spider, which is based off Peter Parker from Earth 11638, which in this reality, Uncle Ben never died, and he helped train Peter Parker with his new powers to become the Amazing Spider. He would become a popular hero, as well as a rich, successful scientist owning Parker Technologies. He would use technology to bring other Spider-Mans into his universe and then absorb their powers to feed his own. And when he brought in the 616 Spider-Man, he was able to convince Spider that he was wrong, so Spider ended up putting himself himself in the machine in which he died and went to hell, and with his spirit trapped in hell, Bruce Banner, who was the Sorcerer Supreme at the time in this verse, infused him with the spirit of vengeance and returned him to life to repent for his past as Ghost Spider. So he's pretty much Ghost Rider in a Spider-Man body. So in this form, of course, he has all the Spider-Man powers of superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes, as well as wall crawling, spider senses, webbing, and then he also has Ghost Rider powers. At least should have a lot of like the Ghost Rider, like Pinned Stare and all that sort of stuff, Hellflame Generation, all that, but looks cool in this form. And of course, this is based off the Spider-Verse, so from the first Spider-Man game, where you can wear this costume. I think it may have some effects in that one. I know in Spider-Man 2, it's mostly costumes are just all cosmetic, but I think in the first one, you got some like flame effects and stuff maybe with it, but looks cool with this mostly white design. So you get the white skull face, of course, which would fit for like a Skull Ghost Rider like character, with the blue flames coming off. Love the blue flame design. Well, in general, I don't like the flames on here because it's, it's supposed to be like hair, but the way it's like flat and sort of slicked back all around here looks weird, and then flaming sticking straight up, but still like just looking at it straight on, looks fine with the blue coming off the skull, but then has the white like costume design coming down, so mostly all the white. Weird spider there with the skull like face in it and nice thin legs and stuff, very creepy with a fast spider there with almost more like venomized sort of legs coming off of it. But then we get the transition to like the bluish gray color, so from the biceps down to the wrist, as well as the thighs down to the feet, and he is like shoeless and stuff or whatever, so you can see his toes there. So looks very cool, creepy design and everything, but nice to get Ghost Spider represented in our collection. For our movements, though, his head will twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far, so nice hinge there on the neck. Shoulders up to 90, and again, no butterfly, but we'll rotate all the way around. Get the bicep twist and the double elbow joints that bend up that far. Wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, and see that cut out clear there, so crunch forward and crunch back again, not a whole lot of range, but more than that last Spider-Man. Twist all the way around at the waist. The hips will come up towards 90 and out to the side. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back. We get the shin twist in the middle of the leg, and the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So good movements overall for that. Once again, and obviously not the best, especially for a Spider-Man, but decent and better than that 77 Spider-Man at least. And for accessories, he comes with some additional hands. So we get the wall crawling hands, so those are pretty typical for Spider-Man, as well as the flip hands, so we can get the flips, which is pretty good as well. So again, very basic and doesn't come with a whole lot, but very cool just to have Ghost Spider represented. Well, there we have our two Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures with our Spider-Man 77 and our Spirit Spider. So both of these look pretty cool. Again, with Spider-Man 77, not like great design and figure design and all that, but just good to have that representing, a piece of Spider-Man history in figure form, as well as Spirit Spider, so the alternate dimensions Peter Parker, again from the Spider-Man game though, but looks cool just to have that in our collection as well. So let me know what you thought of these two Spider-Man down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.